All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started then. And thank you, Ishmael, for the introduction. I'm also here with Robin Ballard. I don't know if you covered that when you made your introductions, but Robin is our program manager for two of our grants, actually, and we'll be talking about those here throughout the conversation. I know about 20 minutes, so we'll be clipping through this. But if you have any questions or want some follow-up information, please let us know. Contact us. And Ishmael has all our contact information. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the fact that materials, as you know, are everywhere. And if you look at the photographs, we've tried to capture some different ones, such as ceramics and, of course, the 787, which is the composite Airbus, or excuse me, Airbus, listen to me, Boeing, which is just down the street from us and whatnot. So, but materials, of course, is the foundation for many things, and without materials, there can be very little made, or so we like to think of it. So we call it the science of stuff. And our mission as an NSF, Advanced Technological Education Funded Center, we are located in Seattle, Washington, just north of Seattle, about 30 minutes, in Linwood, Washington, and we are housed at Edmonds Community College. We have, and you'll see in a little bit, our lab. But our mission is to advance materials, technology, education nationally, and our vision is to be the focal point where industry, education, community collaborate to meet material technology workforce needs. And one of the things you'll see as you go through this is the different partnerships and collaborations that we've built. We have 4 major goals, and one of them is to provide web-based resources, and of course we'll provide you our website. We just did on the prior slide, but we'll also provide it to you as we go along. Actually, Robin later on in the presentation will be covering 3 different web pages that you can go to if you need some assistance, or if you want to just look at more of what we do, whether it is around technology, education, technician education in additive manufacturing, or material science, or presenting at a national conference that we do. We have 4, as you can see, we have 4 major goals. We provide web-based resources. We try and provide easy and direct access to curriculum. Curriculum is really modules, but they're modules that we create, or we contact subject matter experts when we work with them to develop a module in a particular area of materials. We also offer professional development opportunities. You'll see that when Robin talks about the website around MSTEM. And we promote the use of core competencies for technicians that handle materials. So that means it can be anything from a nanotechnician who handles nanomaterials to a maybe a naval person who handles materials that might have to do with corrosion and be affected by corrosion. So those are our 4 main goals. Some of our national efforts as we move through with MAT-EDU is to expand the resource center and continue focus on material science education at the technician level. And we have actually been doing this now since 2005, and we've been housed here at Edmonds successfully for that amount of time, which is great. We've had some consistency. As a center, it's really important that we have that consistency. Our next piece that we're doing is Guitar Building Institutes. We are focusing on STEM concepts through the building of a custom electric guitar. And some people may ask, why do we do that? And that's because if you look at an electric guitar, it will surprise you as to how many different kinds of materials are used to create a guitar. And in that, we bring in the STEM concepts. So we've had, probably about 70 to 80 teachers who have been taught in this around the country, and I believe that our co-PI with Dr. Fidon's new grant that he just received, the person who leads the Guitar Building Institutes will be one of the co-PIs, which we're really excited about, because this concept of learning STEM through guitar building has just been very, very phenomenal and widely accepted. In fact, they were the only community college invited to an NSF-funded activity, and it's called the National Science and Engineering Week back east, and so they did an event, and it was just exciting. There were so many people in line, and people stood for hours to talk to these folks, so we know that that's going to be a big part of it. And we're pulling additive manufacturing into this whole Guitar Building Institute piece. The next thing we're working on, I think, would be near and dear to your hearts, is the technician education in additive manufacturing and materials. In the past, we had a different grant that was just the technician education in additive manufacturing, And what we did there is we identified and established technician core competencies based on ASTM and ISO International Steel Standards for additive manufacturing. The key for that is that if you walked into a school or a company in California and you came to Washington State, we found there's a big discrepancy between the knowledge, skills, and abilities that those folks had. So we wanted to get some kind of consistency and started working with ASTM and ISO as the International Skills Standards body to develop these standards. And you'll be hearing more about those down the road because they are going to get rolled out at the SME Rapid conference that's happening in Orlando next month. So we're pretty excited about that rollout for the core competencies. So some of the national collaborations that we have is a Center for Competencies in Additive Manufacturing. You'll know that that's the new one at University of Louisville. My good friend Ed Tackett is leading that up along with Tim Gornett. And they're developing the additive manufacturing coursework for programs. So we're excited about working with them in their piece and expanding some of our coursework in additive manufacturing. You may not know the National Resource Center for Aerospace Education, which is called Space Tech. It is also an NSF-funded center, but it is focused on different areas such as manufacturing and composites, and they do certifications that are focused on aerospace technicians. We up here at Edmonds Community College and Matt EDU, we are the Pacific Northwest test site for Space Tech, and these are very tough certifications to get. Once you get it, you never want to lose it. It is a 3-part test usually, and one of them has a hands-on. This particular exam always has a hands-on piece, so that is, and actually they're headquartered in Cocoa Beach, Florida. We also do some expanded outreach and dissemination in a workshop we call Materials in STEM. But, some folks would know it as National Educators Workshop, or NEW. Now it's Materials in STEM because really materials are throughout the STEM concept. So we provide unique labs and hands-on experiences to education and industry and others, secondary, post-secondary students and faculty. This particular one for this year is going to be on November 6th through the 8th in Owasso, Oklahoma. And you might ask why Owasso? That is because Oklahoma is fast becoming a rapid hub for aerospace and composites and also consumer products. So they're expanding. They have a little corridor there that we like to call the composites corridor. And so we're working with them to develop the different areas where they want to expand. And so they've asked us to come there and be their workshop for this year. So we're pretty excited about being there. If any of you want to attend or if you want to submit a call for papers, we'd be happy to send information to Ishmael, and I'm sure he would be happy to distribute it. Because we do like to do student pieces there too. So let us know, and maybe Robin can go ahead and forward that to you in case any of you would like to present. A few other ones, national collaborations, as you can see, the first one on top is at Tennessee Technology. Firstly, you folks with the AM Watch one, and that is because we have agreed to work with TTU, Tennessee Tech, to create a Pacific Northwest hub in additive manufacturing. So we're looking forward to it. We're already thinking about how we want to do that, where we want to go, how we want to expand our lab, and that sort of thing. So we want to obviously be prepared for when you're ready to start rolling things out. We will be prepared to start moving forward. Another association collaboration we have is the Southeast Maritime and Transportation Center, and that is focused on education needed by maritime technicians working with materials. Again, remember I talked a little bit about corrosion and the issues that corrosion is having. A few years ago, the United States Navy put out a memo that said that they have their corrosion problem within their section alone, within the military itself, or excuse me, within the Navy itself, was a $7.14 billion problem. So our part in this whole piece is materials, of course. It's also corrosion. But interestingly enough, their Advanced Technology Center located in Virginia Beach, they're actually looking at additive manufacturing and increasing some of those pieces on these big ships in the shipbuilding arena. So just last week, or actually earlier this week, I was there meeting with some of the big shipping companies and trying to figure out how we can integrate more lightweighting of materials along with additive manufacturing. So that's another area that people sometimes don't think about the importance of it. As we go through all these, as you can see, and as students, you can tell that there's a lot of career opportunities in different areas, not just in manufacturing or engineering, as you can tell. The next partnership we have is the Regional Center for Next Generation Manufacturing. That is in Connecticut. That is also an NSF-funded regional center, and we work with them in the manufacturing, but again, in additive manufacturing, structural materials. They're just standing up their first lab, and it's a huge lab, and it's going to be held at Nantucket Community College, so they're excited about that. They have been doing a lot of research as to what kind of equipment they want and how they want to grow. They have more boat building and some military there, so they're pretty excited about that, and so they're receiving quite a bit of money from the state. One of the partners that we have on collaborations is an engineering research center. Now they're a little different than ATE. We're a co-PI on their particular grant, as you can see there. It's Engineering Research Center for Revolutionizing Metallic Biomaterials. It's a long name, and it's all around additive manufacturing and magnesium is our part. So they're housed at North Carolina A&T in Greensboro, North Carolina. And they're a little different than an ATE. As an engineering research center or an ERC, they get funded for 10 years. They have to perform 5 years and have their deliverables, meet their deliverables before they get funded again for the next 5 years. And each year after that, they go through this. Their National Visiting Committee meets and they go through a review. And the cool part to that is that when you go with them and you partner with something like an ERC, they have some pretty outstanding research and development projects that they're working on that they let you work with. And they bring teachers in and students during the summer. They're also looking for students that want to do an internship there. They will pay you a stipend. They will also invite you into their dorm so you have a place to stay. And it's pretty advanced what they're doing and all the knowledge that they're sharing. So that's another opportunity that we look at when we're looking at national collaborations, is not only what we can do for our center, but what we can do for Edmonds and what we can do for students and teachers. So teachers can also apply for these summer internships. One of the other collaborations we have is NanoLink, and that is education needed by technicians working with nanomaterials. We did a survey for them, and there are actually several centers around. There's another center called NeoTech, which is in Albany, New York. And there is a center in Shoreline, which is north of us. Is that right? No, south of us, a few miles. And they're headquartered at Shoreline Community College. Excuse me, North Seattle Community College. Sorry about that. But the Shine is another area that's linked to nanomaterials. And although Shine is in nanomaterials, our major contact is NanoLink. So we try and work through them rather than try and work with 5 or 6 different centers or different areas. It just makes it easier. So we have quite an expanded network, and the last one I wanted to kind of touch base on again is the technician education in additive manufacturing and materials. This particular grant and project was the first one awarded by the National Science Foundation in this area. So we are basically, Rob and I were talking today about how we're breaking ground and trying to establish, it's not like your typical ATE. It doesn't just talk about deliverables and whatnot. In this case, the network that we're building is the deliverable, and it will sustain once the grant ends, which is a 4-year grant. So we're pretty excited about being the pilot for the National Science Foundation on this whole piece and trying to establish this wonderful network. And I know Tennessee Tech and Digital is a big part of our network, so we look forward to connecting with you and having more things come through us to you and expanding additive manufacturing in a way that I don't think anybody has really ever imagined how it's going to expand. So you might ask, we have all these national collaborations and we do all these different things. Where is our hub? This is our hub right here. It's Monroe Hall. It is an 11,000 square foot lab. It's a state-of-the-art materials lab located at Edmonds Community College. We are slightly off campus. We're about 2 blocks away. And you come in from a major roadway called it's on 196. And this whole building is focused on material science. And you can see the different labs. Some of these labs have been also expanded and equipped with even more equipment. So we're kind of looking forward to the expansion that's happening, and we're also doing more engineering technology in the building as it relates to materials. So we're excited about that. This is where we kind of live. Robin's in my office is located in this building, along with a couple of other people that work with us. And between us, we have a small team, but because so much of our work is related around materials, it makes it easy to be able to manage and collaborate with all these different collaborations. So the other thing that we do is we do a lot of dissemination activities, and I'm going to ask Robin to kind of go over the different pieces of what we do on this next slide. So Robin. Thanks, Mel. We actually have 3 websites where we disseminate information. Even though technician training is our goal, we typically reach technicians through students and teachers. So a lot of what we do is geared toward teachers. You can see that in the academic programs. The workshops and conferences we do are generally associated with some sort of teacher meeting. Materials in STEM workshop is almost all faculty for high school and colleges. The MAT.edu website, the main website that we have, you'll see here, a lot of what is available is under this Educator tab, and that is modules that teachers can plug and play into their classrooms. There are types of materials listed there, and on the resource page, there's a great many things that you can access, including titles of books, websites, professional associations, things that we have amassed over time. It is a virtual library of information that's freely available to anybody who cares to use it. TEAM is the technician education in additive manufacturing and materials, and we have modules here that are also plug and play in additive manufacturing. We've started a resource page, much like the one on the materials education site, and there are 4 videos there that can be used however you wish. There's one that's an introduction to additive manufacturing, and 3 are industry examples, things that industry is doing that are innovative and creative in additive manufacturing. Here's an example of one of them. This first one is talking about a 3D printed car that SimTech made in cooperation with a company in Hawaii. So it's well worth it if you get the time to view it. Materials in STEM is the workshop Mel was describing to you, where we have teachers and industry come. We offer workshops and sessions throughout a 3-day period, all related to material science, what people are doing that is innovative and creative. This is also where you would find the presentations if you wanted to submit a presentation or a poster session for materials in STEM, or to register. And this is the contact information. I know we've about reached our time limit, I'm sorry to say, but Mel or I can easily be reached at these phone numbers and email addresses. So if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to let us know. Any parting? Okay. Thanks. Survey. Oh, the survey, yes. We are doing a survey right now on our materials, our products, our services, and we're going to forward that to Ishmael, and hopefully, Ishmael, you'd be willing to forward it to some of the students who might be willing to participate. It's all about MAT.edu, which was that first website I showed you. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and we look forward to continuing the dialogue and wish you much success. Thank you.